What's up? It's your boy Bass, and today I want to talk to y'all about Seiko. Yes, I know some of y'all are familiar with the watch brand. It's very known in the watch community, and it's one of the founders and is the founder of the Quartz watch. Seiko is a watch brand that started out in Japan. Started out originally in the 1800s, the late 1800s, going into the early 1900s, but didn't really get its real full claim to fame until the late 1960s when it came out with the Artisan. If I correct, you could correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but it's called the Artisan. This watch was something different. It was a Quartz watch, battery powered, and more reliable. And it almost crushed the Swiss industry. Had the whole Swiss industry in a chokehold. But I got us one here today. The watch I got here today is a Seiko Solar watch. Seiko Solar in particular, it's a day date, and Seiko is known for pushing the boundaries of watch technology, but also watch designs. But they're also real good at making what the market or what people desire type of watches, but also testing and trying to be the new innovators. They came out with watches with calculators. I think they even had a watch that had a TV on it. But for the most part, it was always good engineering, accuracy, and precision. They always kept up with the good craftsmanship too. This watch in particular, I like, for example, their Solar watch. I like solar technology because I feel like it's one of the next wave. I mean, solar technology been out for years. I've been out for years, decades. Let's be real. But as we start to move into electric cars, solar energy, natural energy, I think that this will start to become a topic in the discussion. I do believe solar watches will become the next trend because of the fact that solar watches are mechanical watches. Because they are more eco-friendly, you don't have to replace your battery as much with a solar watch because it's constantly being recharged due to the solar system that's inside the watch. The battery is constantly being recharged, but it is a battery still in there. So let's be real about that. But everything is moving towards, recharging. Like, we still in the electric era, but it's something that can compete with the mechanical self-winding watch, which is, them watches can last 100 years. Now, because solar technology and the Quartz watch, which is, like electric watches, which is fairly new, it's still not enough data to see how long can they actually really last. They have an estimated date, but to be tested, I mean, it's something that's still going on right now. I probably should Google it and actually see what is the longest running Quartz watch so far, but I'm pretty sure it's something that's still standing the test of time. Since like the 80s or 60s or 70s. That still work. The only thing they gotta do is just get a battery change. Been well maintained or kept in a box and didn't fall apart. Still functional, still movements, ticks, everything. But honestly, I want to keep this conversation geared towards Seiko, because Seiko is a brand that I feel like a lot of people who's really trying to find that entry level watch or trying to find a credible watch, if they're like, going into a professional, or if they just want to, wear something that they feel like is respected. Seiko is a great brand, I feel like, to start out with. It's one of those ones where it has history, and it has a rich history. Like I said, they pretty much bring the first Quartz watch to market, and with that watch, they damn near crippled the Swiss industry. The Swiss industry is still there, trust and believe. I mean, Rolex, for example, is still selling millions of watches a year. So we know that it ain't like, cripple it completely, but it almost did. It almost caused a collapse of the Swiss industry. But with doing that, they was able to test and fail, but succeed at the same time. They had some crazy designs, some stuff that I don't know if I don't know if I use it, but they were ahead of their time. They was basically trying to make Apple watches back then, and they basically made them. But the people of this time back then, they wasn't really trying to use a calculator on their wrist. Some people was, so it made sense. I mean, I see where they was going, honestly, because it's functions that we use now. Pretty much most of the functions that we got now, they already tried to make. So it's like history repeating itself, but now we have been able to innovate it, and make it more better. Turn the vision into a reality. But Seiko is a particular brand that I myself have had the chance to actually see the insides, because I have to take some apart. You can tell the quality. It's quality in it. It ain't just like you just buying it because of the name. There's actually quality in Seikos, and that's why vintage Seikos is still highly sought after on the market. If you are a person that's trying to get into the watch industry or anything like that, or looking for an investment watch, I say find you a vintage Seiko, or a Grand Seiko, or a King Seiko. You find one of those are called the Grand Seikos and King Seikos will cost you a couple $1,000. But if you are balling on a budget and you just want to get you a watch that's, respected in your industry, or just that you like, but you also want it to be like high quality, I say go with a Seiko. That's one of my choices. My other choices I'll put in a different episode, but in this one we're gonna keep it with Seiko. So I say go with a Seiko. And you have many different options and many different styles. Like the style that I just showed you, this watch right here is a Seiko Solar, black leather wristband, stainless steel case, navy blue dial with the silver, the silver time indicators. It's a day date, which I also do like. I like that Seiko, a lot of the watches do have that day or day date indicators, which is a dope feature. I always looked at it, it's like one of those classy, but it's useful. It's useful. I actually do use mine, but sometimes I'm realizing too that if I end up changing, like trying to adjust the time or something like that, because I'm this place or that place, trying to adjust the time, you gotta remember that if you rotate it too many times, that you basically telling your watch that it's the PM. So then now it'll jump the date, or it speeds up the date jumping process. So you might be one day ahead, or you might be half a day, well, not one day ahead, but half a day ahead, which is, it's pretty cool, because you got a whole machine on your wrist. You got a whole machine on your wrist that measures time and days, and Seiko does a good job at that. The Seiko Solar, the solar technology, I always thought was cool, because I was like, it was a way to make your watch like self-sustaining. Mechanical watches got, I said like in the beginning, they got self-winding watches, which makes it be able to wind up on its own without you having to do anything to it. It would be nice if Quartz had the same thing, right? They did that with solar. The only thing is with solar watches, I do know, and I'm realizing this, is that it has to at some point be in light, because that is how it recharges the battery. And if the battery drains out, it will cause the battery to start becoming, a very high chance for it to become faulty. And that's what you don't want, because then that means that you got to go get a battery change. You got to go spend money on a battery, and because it's a rechargeable battery, it's a more expensive battery. It's not like a standard battery. It's a rechargeable battery. Yeah, that's what you don't want to do. It's like buying a Tesla for real. Like, yeah, you can charge up a Tesla, but if you have to replace one of those batteries that actually power that car, it's a lot more expensive. It's a lot more expensive. But the whole goal is it should be a quality product that you shouldn't have to change it. You feel me? You shouldn't have to change it no time soon. It should be able to run for years, and plenty years, without you having to change it. As long as you just got sunlight, and since it's sunlight every day and we walk into rooms with nothing but light, and now everything is pretty much LED, you pretty much got nothing but time and opportunity to charge your watch. And because it's so convenient that it's inside the dial and it's unnoticeable, they do a great job, a great job at hiding, you feel me, and styling that function, because you cannot see where and how it's being charged. Like, it ain't like no solar panels or something, like small little solar panels that you can just look at and can just tell. But if you know, because you know they hold design specs, then you are able to be like, all right, well, I know that it's probably inside the dial, and they use a certain type of dial where it can still absorb the light when the light hits the face of it, which is pretty dope. All that is pretty dope. Or it might be in like the little indicator, not day indicators, but the indicators that tell you the time or the hour of the day. You know, that's all that is dope. Because why? You can't tell. You can't tell unless they tell you. And that's what I like about it, because it's like indiscreet, but it also, they put it in words. They put it in words on the dial for you that it's a solar watch. And with that, it gives that kind of like mystique, because like I said, like where's the energy being like stored, and where are you like extracting this energy, this sunlight from? Like, is it coming from the dial, the actual dial? Is it coming from the hands? Is it coming from? But you can't really tell, and that's good designing. That's good designing. And I like that it also has a professional look. It's not nothing too flashy, not too flamboyant. I think it's about 37 millimeters. And the wristband, I'm not too sure on the width of the wristband, but I know that the case is about 37 millimeters. And yeah, let's take another look at it one more time. It actually kind of go with this jacket a little bit. So this one I got here has more of like a navy blue dial color with the silver. And then the silver case, black leather wristband, the original Seiko wristband. And if you looking for an entry level watch that has a high return, and it's easy to obtain. I would say like investment watch. I would say Seiko. Um, but that's if you're also willing to invest into actually learning how to like change out like watch batteries or do like the small things, change wristbands, because a lot of times you can find these watches, and also too, these watches are good to find if, and I was just about to say like you can find these watches vintage or like resale, secondhand stores, or eBay or Poshmark that'll help you find it at a discount price, because it's just like stocks, it's just like real estate. It's about buying at the cheapest price and selling at the highest to be able to profit off of it. And because watches actually has a market and actually has value and trade value, you can do that. And Seiko has trade value. It's not going to be like on the same scale as a Rolex, unless you're talking about like a Grand Seiko or King Seiko or something like that. But it's not going to be on the same scale as a Rolex. But a Seiko can still get you some type of return if you're ever looking to sell it. So once you buy it, if you buy it like straight up at retail, and you buy it at that price right there, you probably won't. I mean, depending on which one you get, yes, the price of it will probably depreciate, but it won't be like by like it may be a lot, it might not be a lot. Just honestly, it depends on which one you get. Honestly, but you will still get money returned. It's something that you can go post it online and it'll be sold. And if you get real desperate, you might post it for too cheap, and it'll be sold in less than an hour. It's people like it's Seiko enthusiasts, because people, it's like one of them type of brands that you can also mine. It has a whole culture behind it. It has a whole fan base behind it. And when I say culture, I mean like as a collector, and then the fans, it's like people are just fan of their work, so they're just like to buy, trade, and just be submerged in the Seiko culture, which is actually pretty dope. Because if you look at some of those, if you Google like Seiko mods, oh man, they got a lot of Seiko mods, and it actually like makes you want to kind of like dive into it a little bit. You feel me? Become one of those like Seiko enthusiasts. But for right now, I'm just kind of staying in my own lane. But I'm learning as I'm going, and as I'm going, I'm realizing that like it is better to have quality. Like everybody think quantity over quality, and some people say quality over quantity. Like if you are looking to build a watch collection, or you are looking to build a watch inventory, start with quality. Like I have sold Seikos, and people desire them, no matter if they were damaged or not damaged. But for the most part, the Seikos are also kind of tricky, because you don't want to sell one that is damaged, because most of the Seikos I get have either a day just, or a day date, which means it has the day of the week and the day of the month on the watch. Well, on the dial, showing on the dial, and change by the day. And a lot of those features, sometimes when you're dealing with buying vintage versions of those, sometimes those features do need repair. They either get stuck because either like a wheel, end up going bad after a while, end up losing the teeth or something like that, or the lubricant that was on the wheels probably didn't got so much debris or dried out that now they just too much friction, they just sticking, So it has to be relubricated or something like that, or recleaned and lubricated. Excuse me. no matter the case, uh, it still creates problems having calendars. That calendar feature, creates problems with watches. But for the most part, I have seen that it still is a sought after watch. Ones that had that feature on there and it was broken and I let it be known that it was broken, people still wanted them because they were still Seiko enthusiasts. They was like, all right, I could just replace that. I could just replace the movement and keep the whole dial, the dials and hands, and keep the case and wristband, and I just change out the movement. I got the same version here, but that one's broken. Whatever the case may be. So that's a one of those type of watches where it's still value and it can easily be turned into cash. So if you're ever looking for a watch that's like, all right, well, one day I might not want this, or one day I might want to give it to my kids and I want it to still have some type of value to be resold, a Seiko watch, because depend on which one it is and which one you get, it's going to appreciate in value. If it's still in good condition, everything also comes down to condition. But if it's in bad condition, you can still sell it at a good price. But my best advice, if you starting out, you trying to build inventory, you trying to build your collection, only go retail if it's for something that you truly like, that you desire, that you want. But if you're actually trying to go as far as investment into possibly one day sell, or you just going straight in to just sell, I wouldn't try to go buy it at retail unless it's a huge deal, or they just got a clearance or something going, and you can go find one of those watches because it's out of date or something, so they trying to clear it off and they trying to give you a good deal on it. But if they're not trying to give you no good deal, I wouldn't really go retail. If they give you no discount, no, I wouldn't really go retail. If you're trying to find an investment watch and you're looking at a Seiko or anything like that, I go find something that's already been used, that's in great condition, and start from there. And if you can find one, you can find one at a decent price. A lot of times, the reason why I say get you some tools and learn a little craft is because a lot of times people, once they watches battery die, they just get rid of it. They throw it in the drawer, end up keeping it in there, and once they end up moving or something like that, clearing out the drawer, they see that old watch, don't really want the watch no more because it ain't their style no more, probably outgrew the style now. So now they want to get rid of it. And the only thing that was wrong with it from the get-go was the battery died. And you change the battery, but I do understand that sometimes finding the right battery for these watches can be also a hassle, because it's not like you can just go to your local store and just find every battery. Find the same battery for your watch. Not every watch takes the same battery. Like I said, this is a solar watch that I just showed y'all, a Seiko Solar. It takes a different type of battery. In a certain size, so being able to get that when you need it will probably be hard for some people. Not everybody stays next to a shopping plaza or something like that, and they probably don't even got it there. I didn't have to go on Amazon. I got to go order some batteries for some of these watches that I get, because I can't just go to a Walgreens or Family Dollars or a Dollar Tree or something just to go get that particular battery for that brand or style of watch. But it all pays off in the long run. It all pays off in the long run. But I kind of got off track. We were talking about the Seikos and then, refurbishing watches. And then if you want to do, investment. But that's to each his own. That's just one particular way. And find the brand that might works for you. And everybody doesn't look for the history and the technology. Some people just looking for a style. Some people just looking for they are just looking for a brand. And I'm gonna get more into that because I recently had sold also 2 vintage Coach watches on eBay. Women's Coach watches, they were beautiful. One had a floral print on a black leather with a black face. One of them had a pink distraught leather wristband. Well, both of them were leather, but this one had a pink distraught leather wristband with a pink face, gold hands, hour and minute hands, and I do believe it had a second hand. Both of them had second hands. I'll be able to pull a picture up in the next video, but in this one, we talking about the Seikos. And Seiko is a Japanese brand, and if you look at a lot of Quartz watches that come from a lot of how would you say they call them like low end watches. A lot of them come from they have Japanese movements. You got to think Seiko is a Japanese company. It was founded by someone who was Japanese in Japan. And he ended up creating Seiko, and the rest was history. But I ain't gonna talk too much of y'all ear off. So if I'm gonna keep this in here. Nah, matter of fact, I'm gonna cut this part. But if you looking for a watch to start out with, or if you just looking for a watch on a budget, and that's good quality, good functionality, which means it ain't like complicated or some quirky looking watch. Like, it's sophisticated, elegant, and it works. For sure it's gonna work. Get you a Seiko. It's your boy Baz. Hey, I ain't here to waste your time. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.